Well, maybe they do over at Prairie Meadows. I don't know. We're going to check over with Lou, who is live, and there's some great things happening.
Yeah, we are here in Altoona at Prairie Meadows on an absolutely picture-perfect day. A lot of things going on here at Prairie Meadows. This weekend starts another season full of racing, and we have our buddy John Hernandez going to be joining us. He is a handicapper and commentator. Get over here, John. We have a lot of things going on here because quarter horse racing gets up and going starting tomorrow.
Yes, Saturday at 1 o'clock. That's the first of our 26-day quarter horse season here in 2016. Always a fun time. It goes by real fast, but throughout the season there'll be plenty of thrills as the quarter horses go here over a strip instead of around the track.
There you go. Now, explain when they are going to be racing during the week, because a couple of times during the week you can come out to Prairie Meadows and enjoy this kind of racing.
Okay, the new season schedule is Fridays at 5:30 and then Saturdays and Sundays at 1 o'clock, so 2 matinees, Saturday and Sunday. Then our closing week in October, we go Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so that's the only exception. But generally, Fridays at 5:30, Saturdays and Sundays at 1.
Yeah, but we are starting tomorrow. Okay, it is starting tomorrow. The quarter horse racing starts tomorrow, right?
Right.
All right, now we need an explanation here, because that's the reason we can have John here, because we have to get the difference between quarter horse racing and thoroughbred racing. And you and I were talking before we went on camera, and this guy had the greatest analogy when it compares these two. Now, tell everybody the difference.
Okay, think the difference between, say, IndyCar racing and drag racing. Different types of racing, equally as exciting, but just different. One is across a strip of ground, the other is around a track. Kind of the difference, say, between, we're talking Olympics right now, a 1500 and a 110. Different, but equally as exciting.
There you go, and we'll explain those coming up here in just a little bit as we're talking about the various levels and the various distances that the horses run. But we have to bring somebody in here who is going to be on board these I almost said vehicles, these 1-horsepower beasts all season long. And this guy's pretty successful, isn't he?
Yeah, the one and only Stormy Smith.
And Stormy, come on over here, Stormy. He just got over here. He's getting things worked out. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming over. And look at this. Check this out, man. These are really cool.
Yes, sir. I build my own tack and stuff, so I made them.
You made your own tack, really?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been riding races for 16 years now.
And fairly successful at this, too. Last season, do you have any idea how many victories you had?
No, sir, I don't.
See, that's how you know you're really good, when you have so many wins, you don't even keep track of them anymore. But you had a pretty good run. From what we understand, it was like 36 or 37 wins last year in the quarter horse racing alone. Now, do you run both the thoroughbreds and the quarter horses?
Yes, sir, I do. When I go, something like at Canterbury Park in Minnesota, I ride both of them. And then when I get done here, I'll go home to Oklahoma and ride thoroughbreds at Remington Park.
Now, which one did you start racing first?
I actually started riding thoroughbreds, and I went back east and rode in New York and Pennsylvania and all over back there, and then I came back here and started riding quarter horses.
Now, what's the thrill of a quarter horse race as compared to a thoroughbred race?
It's a lot more sudden. Everything happens a lot faster. They're all speed and power away from the gates, and thoroughbreds, you got to think a little more.
So are the horses that much stronger than the thoroughbreds out of the gate?
Yes, sir. Most of them are. You'll find a thoroughbred or two that can really leave a gate, but most of the time your quarter horses are a lot stouter away from there.
Now, does it pull your head back when they take off?
Well, you try not to let it, but every once in a while it will.
Yeah. And so, again, you're here at Prairie Meadows, and obviously you ride some of the best horses here. Some of your favorite horses that you ride?
Well, tomorrow night I got a horse named AJ's High in the kid cook for Charlie Hunt is the trainer, and he's won 4 stakes races so far this year. He's only run 4 times this year, and he's made a lot of money. He's a pretty nice horse.
Yeah, there you go. So if we were talking about this earlier, the comparison of thoroughbred racing to quarter horse racing. What can you tell folks about coming out to see the short track racing, so to speak, for horse racing? What would you say to them to encourage them to come out here?
If you've never been, especially, you kind of really need to come see this. It's pretty exciting. It really is.
Now, do you have a preference, thoroughbred or quarter horse?
No, sir. I really like riding both of them quite a bit.
Yeah, and again, I'm impressed that you say you build your own stuff. You build the uniforms, basically, the tack that we're talking about. And when did you start doing that?
My dad's had a tack shop my whole life, so I started sewing on his machines when I was 4 or 5 years old. So.
How about that? So, again, looking forward to it. So, you getting the butterflies for the season starting tomorrow?
No, heck no. I've been coming up here a long time. I'm used to it, but looking forward to having a good meet and having some fun.
Yeah, in case you haven't guessed, he's not from Iowa. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from New Mexico, but I live in Oklahoma now.
Okay, well, that's cool. But it's a lot of fun to have you here, man. We'll see whether or not you can rack up all those victories again. Now, this time you need to keep track of how many wins you have this year. Can you do that?
We can try.
All right, and then at the end of the year, when we get down to the last, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday season finale that we just talked about, we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you to see how many victories that you have.
All right, sounds good.
Do you have any idea how many races you'll compete in this year in the quarter horses?
No, sir, I really don't. I'll probably try to ride about every race we run. So
all right,
I ride
so
a lot of them up here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Matt, good luck to you, man. Thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate that. John, why don't you come back over here real quick? We'll get this segment wrapped up here. But again, what a neat guy. Again, that's one of the drivers, so to speak.
Yes, he's one of our quarter horse jockeys and has been the best around here for quite some time. Rides AJ's High this weekend, unbeaten in 4 starts this year. Had a chance to win a really big race last fall down at Lone Star Park in Texas. Had a little trouble out of the gate and was not competitive in that race, but by and by has been a very, very successful horse for Stormy.
Yeah, now we were talking about a quarter horse, and the reason they call them quarter horses is because?
Well, they're bred for speed. And unlike thoroughbreds who descend from a couple of common stallions, the American quarter horse was a breed that was really initiated here in America, and it was a combination of different horses bred for speed, bred to just go really fast for a short distance of time.
To launch out of the gate, so to speak.
Launch out, go fast. I mean, we're not talking about horses that are going to go a mile, but at 4:40, quarter of a mile, they're pretty darn fast.
Okay, now you mentioned that this is kind of like the 100-yard or 100-meter dash that we've been watching, or 200-meter dashes in the Olympics. And there's something here that's kind of cool. They vary the distances here. And Chris, if you can show down here, you see that little house up on the pedestal here. Use that as a reference point. Is that basically where these guys are starting normally?
That would be a 4:40 race. Way down there by that flagpole, there's a red pole. That's the quarter pole. If you put the starting gate there, run to the finish line, it's 440 yards. Now, we don't always go 440, sometimes distances in between.
So they have sometimes the shorter ones, too. So there you go, folks. Your little, quarter horse racing 101 live from Prairie Meadows. We're not done yet. We're going to come back here in just a couple of minutes. More activities going on here at Prairie Meadows in Altoona. We are live because we are CW Iowa Live.
That's right. Good morning, Lou. So great to see you out there at Prairie Meadows, and we will be back with Lou in just a matter of minutes.